Problem solving is an integral part of organizational life. Problem-solving models are used to handle the myriad difficulties in the workplace.
For example, a 6-step problem-solving model has the following repeatable steps. 1. Identify and define the problem. 2. Determine the root causes of the problem. 3. Develop alternative solutions. 4. Select a solution. 5. Implement the solution. And 6. Evaluate the outcome.
Step 1 is about identifying and defining the problem, the issue's context, background, and symptoms.
Key questions to be asked include the following. What happened or will happen? Who does it or who will it affect? Where was it done or where will it have an impact? When was it done or when will it happen? How was it done or how will it occur? Why was it done or why will it occur? What could be done to be more successful? At this stage, problem-solving groups can use techniques such as brainstorming, interviewing, and questionnaires to clearly define the problem.
Step 2 is about determining the root cause or causes of the problem. In this step, the problem-solving team will use tools such as fishbone diagrams, Pareto analysis, and affinity diagrams. Step 3 involves developing alternative solutions. Generating alternatives is partly a rational and partly an intuitive exercise. The fourth step involves groups evaluating all the alternative solutions and narrowing it down to one. This step applies two key questions. 1. Which solution is most feasible? And 2. Which solution is favored by those who will implement and use it?
Step 5 is about implementation, and Step 6 evaluates the outcome through monitoring. Monitoring checks that milestones are met, costs are contained, and necessary work is complete.
Possible solutions can be generated by using a range of problem-solving techniques, such as brainstorming, multi-voting, Delphi technique, mind mapping, observation, and questionnaires. Brainstorming is a method of generating a large number of creative ideas in a short period of time. Brainstorming is used when a broad range of options is desired, when creative original ideas are desired, and when participation of the entire group is desired.
Multi-voting narrows a large list of possibilities to a smaller list of top priorities or to a final selection. Multi-voting is used after brainstorming or some other expansion tool has been used to generate a long list of possibilities, when the list must be narrowed down, and when the decision must be made by group judgment.
The Delphi technique is a means of reaching a group consensus through multiple rounds of anonymous feedback or iterations. The Delphi process is useful when information about a specific problem is not available. The success of this process depends upon the members' expertise and communication skills. Also, each response requires adequate time for reflection and analysis.
Mind mapping is a form of creative problem solving that can be used as an individual or group brainstorming technique. By using radial thinking with mind maps, the brain generates more ideas and associations for many solutions. Observation can convert observational or avert observational research.
In covert observational research, the researchers do not identify themselves. Either they mix in with the subjects undetected or they observe from a distance to try and solve the problem. In overt observational research, the researchers identify themselves as researchers and explain the purpose of their observations.
Questionnaires can be used to collect information, which can then be used to generate solutions to a particular problem. Questionnaires can cover a large number of research questions and are easy to analyze. In fact, data entry and tabulation for nearly all surveys can be easily done with many computer software packages.
Experimental probability is frequently used in research and experiments of social sciences, behavioral sciences, economics, and medicine. It should be noted that in order for experimental probability to be meaningful in research, the sample size must be sufficiently large.
Force field analysis is a method used to get a whole view of all the forces for or against a plan so that a decision can be made which takes into account all interests. The driving forces are those which would push the equilibrium in the direction needed to achieve the objective. The opposing or restraining forces are those which act against the desired change, the obstacles to achieving the objective.
A decision matrix is a tool to evaluate and select the best option between different choices with greater clarity and objectivity. Using a weighted decision model is helpful for complex decisions that involve the consideration of a large amount of information when deciding.
As we can see, managers have numerous tools and techniques to increase the creativity of problem solving within an organization.